Do you still remember the day that we recorded episode 0 of this?
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of beer. We took your son, not in any particular order. We took your son.
We got real drunk.
We got
Then
real
we
drunk.
took my toddler son to the park.
And we took your toddler son to the park. No, I remember that. And I remember we sat on the dining room table. We had some really shitty $20 microphones and didn't have a clue. And we don't get to do you and me too much anymore on here. Probably for the best. But this is the original. This is at least episodes 0, 1, and 2, right?
Yeah, until we started having someone on that wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, we started doing a guest
Chase was there from the beginning, though.
He was like episode 3. He came in on episode 3, and I was like, "Dude, Johnny, where the fuck did you get this guy? What is going on here?" And then I was like the dad that says, "I don't want a pet," and then you bring home the puppy, and now I'm like the owner of it, just the proud, loving owner of that.
Of Chase.
Yes, of Chase.
Proud owner of a Kinnicky.
Our beloved Chase Kinnicky finally got wise and got COVID.
Yep.
And he put up a good fight, and he is at home doing pretty well from what we can tell. As well as anybody who has subjected himself to the 3 Jurassic World movies that have come out recently.
Man, I've only seen the first one.
You've seen
and
too
I thought
many
it was
of
fine.
them. I mean, that's the best one of those, but I ain't saying a whole lot. Chase is out. He's sick. He is doing okay though, and we told him to take some time to rest and recover. Take the night off and when the Chase is away, the mice will play.
Yeah. Rest up for all that Lightfall we're gonna play next week.
God, I can't believe you're crawling back into that.
Crawling back. This is my annual or like every 2 year cycle that I go through where I play like 20 to 30 hours of Destiny, and then I'm good.
You motherfuckers, you're gonna try and get me back. I know. I just know how this is gonna go. I know.
I haven't said anything to you about this game.
You're gonna say how cool it is and how good Bungie feels.
And the strand. I mean, you know how good the guns feel, but the strand stuff I think actually looks pretty neat. So I'm looking forward to it.
I've broken the chains, and I'm not going back. We can never break the chain again.
You've got your 6-month chip.
Yes.
Don't throw it all away.
I'm not doing that. Actually, I don't want Bobby to touch Destiny ever again.
Yeah.
Fair. I don't ever want to touch your Destiny ever again either. Not worth it. Well, welcome to the Casual Hour. I am Bobby. Joining me tonight is Johnny. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you.
Chase's spirit is still haunting us in the chat, but he is at home recovering. We all wish him a very speedy and healthy recovery. We've got a fun show planned for everybody tonight. We're going to talk about some games. This is an episode full of heart. Why, you ask? Well, first of all, Chase isn't here, so it's going to be all about the things we like. Or isn't.
Oh.
And bang, bang. So
it's all about heart.
It's all about heart. I don't know what just happened. That was very strange. I think there was a little internet disruption. I love that I said have a good show and the stream immediately. It's all Chase's fault.
See?
Like, let's be honest here. It's always Chase. It forever will be Chase.
Chase is hacking into the mainframe right now.
He is. He hacked us, hacker man. We're going to talk about it's a show full of heart. Let me try this again. It's a show full of heart. Why, you ask? Because Chase isn't here. And we like things, or maybe we don't. I think that's how I said it. But tonight we're going to be talking about Hi-Fi Rush, Wild Hearts, and Atomic Heart. And we got some news in the back half, so stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Johnny, I am going to take the honor of going first tonight.
Please do.
I did not want to put you first ever, so I can make it.
Never have, never will.
Never have, never will. Johnny, I beat Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
I've talked about this game a lot on here.
Yes, you have. And I have only played about an hour of it, but it also is a game I think about like at least a couple times a day, even though I haven't played it in a few weeks. So I will be
very...
What's the final verdict? I
am completely blown away by this game. Like, it has stuck with me in ways that I did not expect, and I have really not stopped thinking about that like final sequence of the game. It was just so much fun. I have
Okay.
not had a game this joyful that just made me feel good in some
It
time.
seems like it's just full of heart.
It is,
Like
dude.
everything, it's goofy, but it's doing it with such earnestness. Like you don't for a
It
moment doubt their sincerity in the
No,
thing that
dude.
they're giving to you while
All
you're
these
playing it.
relationships feel incredibly authentic and validated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody you meet is just such a fucking joy to listen to. It's I th-
808,
what's that?
808.
808's great, dude. I think about how much I ended up falling in love with my friends in Persona 5. That was my first Persona game.
Mm-hmm.
And that game is all about relationships, you know, and like just getting to know those people in the game was so fun. And I have not had like an ensemble of people I'm friends with in a game like really stick with me like this game Hi-Fi Rush did in some time. And I kept thinking about like what is it about this that like feels so familiar? Like it's connecting with something in me that I'm like, dude, this is like your shit. And I figured it out. This is my Scott Pilgrim. This is my Scott Pilgrim video game. And when I
Well,
saw that,
not the actual Scott Pilgrim game that they made.
no, yeah, not the actual Scott Pilgrim game, but the way that I felt about like the references and the reverie
Mm-hmm.
that those folks have together and just like the music background with it.
Yeah,
Also, that movie came out around the same time most of the songs on this soundtrack did. And
yeah.
so there is something very much about like a sunsetting of a time and frame. Like we all look back at that period with some rose tinted glasses now.
Mm-hmm.
And this game looks at it and celebrates that culture in a really big way. It was just, I,
I mean, you
I'm
have a damn
begging you.
iPod
I know,
stamped to your
man.
chest. So,
Uh, I'm begging you to beat this one.
it's for sure. Like, it's not getting uninstalled from my computer until I play more of it. So,
I
yeah,
I might
it's
even
on
pick it up
my
on Steam.
top. Okay, just to have it.
Yeah,
Throw
it's
some coin
yeah,
at
it's
those
also
at Microsoft, I guess.
yeah, really. I'm it's I'd like to play it on my Steam Deck, and it actually has a really impressive like end game. Like there's reasons to keep playing that game after you beat it.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
Yeah.
gonna check it out more.
I think the thing I'm most interested in is just like this is such a far departure from the things that they usually
Totally.
make, and I don't think that they were expecting this to get the response that it did from the audience. So like I wonder what that team does next, because I would assume like if okay you can like this is your dream project, you can do it, and if
Yeah,
it didn't hit, like okay, time to make Evil Within 3. Like
I know, man. Like
um
I wonder if they would they do something else here? Like
or can this be like the experimental, like, spin-off group of that studio? I don't know. It's so nice when a new thing comes out that is unlike most things that you see today
I know,
and is good.
I
Because
know,
then,
man.
like, we'll get more things like this, hopefully.
I know, dude. It's so
So
good.
I'm
I
I'm really excited to play more of it, and I love it already from the hour that I spent with it. So I'm
It's going to have a very strong seat in a lot of categories when we get to our game of the year discussion. I think it's so. This is a game. Just to wrap that up for anybody who doesn't know, it is on Game Pass. That's where I played it. It is by Tango GameWorks, part of Bethesda. It is on Xbox and PC. It's $29.99 for a standard edition and $39.99 for their deluxe edition. But again,
I mean
included with
that's
Game Pass.
a lot of games are shipping at $70 these
I
days.
know, man. Hell of a video game. I think I put about 10 hours in it, by the way, just if you're
Okay.
curious. About a 10-hour game. Johnny, a game that you and I both play that just came out. We're going to be talking about Atomic Heart. This is from Mundfish, published by Focus Entertainment. You can buy this game for $60. It goes all the way up to a $100 version. There's also going to be it looks like a battle pass for this game, or some sort of like
Okay.
DLC or seasonal pass.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
It
That doesn't
is,
make sense. This is a single player game. What do you
yeah,
mean Battle Pass?
yeah. It says buy the Atomic Heart Atomic Pass. So yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna talk about Atomic Heart, and I've put in, I guess at this rate, more time than you have, but I've put in maybe an hour to 2 hours tops at this point in time.
Mhm.
Uh, how do you want to go about this? Would you like to hear where I'm at with it, or would you like to talk about where you're at?
Um, I think we can both take it. I think we are feeling very differently about this game after I
Yeah,
spent maybe 45 minutes or so with it before I hit a point where it's like, okay, I don't need to play any more of this right now, and I uninstalled it because I have like 3 other things that I'm way into
100%.
that I would rather spend my time with, and I maybe got, I don't know if I got hyperbolic or not, but like I think the writing and the execution, like the delivery of the voice lines for the main character, were so repellent to me that it really pushed me over the edge because
Yeah,
I loved the imagery. I
mhm.
love the idea of like, hey, this is an alternate reality to post World War II Soviet Russia, and that Art Deco looking robots. Like this is absolutely my
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I love Bioshock, which is clearly a big inspiration here.
Oh, massive inspiration.
Um, but it's just, man, listening to that guy say "shut up, glove" like 3 times.
If you're not picking up on what he's putting down here, folks, the game has some very bad writing and also some very bad reads of that said writing. It's a two hit punch here, or two punch
Yeah,
hit, whatever you want to call it. It's not good.
and I didn't make it far enough like to get new elements of gameplay before I was like, okay, I am done with this right now, and I
Yeah.
closed the game and I uninstalled it as I said. But um, how are you feeling about it?
I'm definitely very intrigued by this one. All the things that you listed off there about what you look for in a game. The tone of this game is fucking awesome. It is very much reminiscent of like BioShock. I would say BioShock means like Fallout in a bit.
Yeah.
Um, but what's really interesting is the tone of the writing does not match the set piece that you're in
No.
at
Right?
all.
Like I went into the menu and I looked for a Russian audio track and I would just have English subtitles because like maybe that would make it better. Like just
Yeah.
reading it, it's still not going to be great because it's not written very well. But like if they get like the tone of the guy, like just the way that he talks, I'm like you. I don't
It's
feel like you are a part of. Like I feel like you're a time traveler who came to this
yes.
place, not like you have a history with these people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I think that also what Johnny's alluding to is it's very reminiscent of what some of the reviews for Forspoken were saying. And that you had this bracelet or whatever was it a Von brace or whatever that you were wearing in that
Something.
game.
Yeah.
And the writing and the delivery between Freya, which I think is her name, and the bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
This is a glove that has like a computer in it, and you're talking to it. This is a Soviet setting. I believe this is if World War II would have ended differently from an alternative timeline, and
So the
Russia
Soviets won,
Soviets
which
won.
they were with the Allies. So technically they did win, but I
Correct.
know what they're going for. If
Yeah,
communism went really well,
yeah.
then
This
maybe
is
this is what would have happened.
like streamlined communism.
Yeah.
But it's very much that like bombastic having those things there. So it's very interesting to me what they've done with this game
Mm-hmm.
because the writing they did not ever talk in the trailers.
No,
They never showed this
that's
off.
the
So
strangest thing, right? Like there's
yes.
just look at this cool robot and
Yes.
you have weird wires coming out of your palm.
And you don't even
Uh,
really find out at the beginning like why this is the thing that you are. You just
yeah,
it throws you into
you
it.
just are like you're coming back, or
But
like yeah,
outside of those things, because I was probably going into it, I was incredibly excited. And then the reviews started to come out. I heard your review, my cousin's review, and I was like, oh, fuck, like maybe this isn't going to be good. And so my expectations went down pretty low when I went into it, and I feel like that was a good thing. Um, I'm really digging a few things. I think the setting is fucking awesome. The style
Yep,
that they've gone through, the
absolutely.
art is so fucking good. It's some of the
Yeah.
best looking shit. It's great. I'm a sucker for upgrades and buying materials to upgrade stuff. Like I like that I will go into a room in a video game and scour it. I love opening cabinets. I love like when you kill an enemy, you can search their body and get things. I also
Hmm.
don't clip this, but I am a huge fan of dismemberment. And I
I mean, the
love,
part where you talk about searching dead bodies was already incriminating enough. So,
yeah. Um
so you'd
I
always get the oh gosh, the bloody mess perk
yes.
in
Yes.
Fallout, where sometimes people just explode for no reason.
Yes, sometimes it just explode. So those things are cool. And most importantly, I love when you upgrade an item in a video game and it changes its physical appearance.
Hmm.
I think that's why I like these Monster Hunter inspired games. We're going to
Yeah,
talk about one of those in a little bit, but
I killed this bird
I
and
look
then
like
I
a bird
stuck
now.
its feather on my hammer, and now
Yes.
my hammer looks like the bird.
Did you make it to the refrigerator in this game?
No, but I saw clips of it. The horny
Okay.
elevator or the horny
The
refrigerator.
horny refrigerator. So that's a one-time deal. That refrigerator is in the game. That's your upgrade station. And so you've got a skill tree, and that's where you
Okay.
start to get your enhancements for your glove that
Mm-hmm.
gives you your like Bioshock abilities.
Yeah.
But you can upgrade like the axe that you start off with, you can upgrade this axe and put like all kinds of shit on it to make it look fucking like steampunk and like atom punk in this case. I love that. I think that's cool. I got a similar perk, and like the first one they give you is more you don't die the first time your health hits 1%. What's that move in Pokemon where you can basically sturdy when it's
Resolve. Oh,
no
okay.
sturdy, so you basically get sturdy. But I've unlocked a shock ability, which is like your melee, and then you have two abilities that you can have active at one time. So I've got uh, ice right now, and you basically can freeze them as they come in, but your hand starts to freeze up. It's really fucking cool. I I didn't think there was going to be as much RPG stuff in that sense with like collecting and putting traits in. The other thing that's fucked up is uh, because of these implants, some of these dead bodies you can still talk to. And that's where like the NPC, like multiple choice dialogue stuff comes up. And
Mhm.
there was one where you heard this voice and you had to do this puzzle sequence in the game where it was like you need to know the pattern to input to take this lock off. And the consciousness was like, hey, go down this hallway. And you went down there and the guy had a sketch of the pattern on his dead body. And it was just you came back and that
Hmm.
the dead body that was telling you what to do was like, oh, you got my message on this, go and do that. Like it was really fucking neat. So I think there's some cool stuff here. However, the big question is how much of this writing can I endure? Because it is fucking terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible writing, dude.
I
So
I normally don't quit out of a game that quickly.
unless it's
Um.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh God. Yeah, that was special circumstances.
Yeah,
Um. Because I can deal with some cheese. It's just it mainly is I'm playing Dead Space. Like
yeah,
I'm playing Wild Hearts. I've been trying to play that freelancer mode in Hitman.
yep.
Like there's
There's a lot of other things
lots
that
of other stuff happening. I need to play Hi-Fi Rush. Like
yeah,
if this was the thing that was out, like if nothing else was going on, I'd probably push through,
yeah,
or maybe do like the Borderlands trick where I don't listen to any of the dialogue
yeah.
and just enjoy the gameplay. Um, so I don't
I've
know.
got
We'll
I've got
see.
a few
I
things I'm
might.
wrapping up.
Okay, I might like go back to it eventually. Like if you're feeling strongly about certain aspects of it by end of the year, I may revisit it.
Yeah,
But right now, like I'm good for the
yeah.
time being.
That makes sense. I don't know how much I'm going to prioritize it right now. Like I've got a few things. I beat Hi-Fi Rush. I'm really close on Dead Space. I'm playing another game that I'm checking out and enjoying. I got that Metroid Prime
Yeah, I want to play
remaster,
that too
which
because I've never played
it's
that game.
fucking awesome. So I've got a few things I'm
Like,
juggling that I think would be a for sure end of year discussion. Where
yeah,
this one, I'm digging, and I'm like right now I feel very compelled to play it. So we'll see how that sticks. But there's another
Cool.
thing, A Tale of Two Hearts here, Johnny.
Ooh,
Um,
man. This other
that
one.
this other one, talking about pulling on our heartstrings this week. Uh, the other heart game, Wild Hearts.
The game, yeah, we tried to play on Friday,
Yeah,
and my computer was running it like maybe 10 frames a second,
we were
being
probably
generous.
also like as people running at 10 frames a second on a Friday night.
Yeah.
We were a
But
little
it
behind the bar
was
there.
it was unbearable. Like it was making me motion sick. And I went and I tweaked some settings and it ran okay after we canceled the stream, but
Yep.
still not great. And then there's this patch that came out this week that's supposed to fix a lot of things. But prior to that, I had like changed some NVIDIA control panel settings, and then you sent the one thing that I read to do in a stream review that I was like, that sounds dumb. I'm not
I
trying
know.
that.
I
And
know.
then I changed it and it fixed it like
Yep.
almost completely. And
Yep.
that is changing this sound from stereo to 5.1 or 7.1.
It's so weird, dude.
And it was instantly like 60 frames a second pretty consistently. It still like hitches a little bit like
Yeah.
during network play. My character, it's almost like they're running through mud, but for the most part, it runs great. And that game fucking rules. It's
It's
so
God damn it.
fun.
It's one of the best games I've played this year.
Yeah,
And
it's. I was like, I had zero expectations for this. I hadn't really followed it at all. I
yeah,
was like,
man.
oh, cool, EA is making a
Yeah, I
Monster Hunter.
remember I was like, dude, you guys need to be looking at
Whoop-de-doo.
this.
Um, just because it's EA, and what more do I need to say? Like,
Right. EA and
but
Koei Tecmo.
I really like that new Need for Speed,
Yes.
and I really like this game a whole lot.
And Star Wars is looking good.
Yeah, yes, very excited for Star Wars, and yeah, this is. Did we talk about it last week?
We talked a
At
little bit
all?
about it. This is Wild Hearts, as Johnny called out, produced by Electronic Arts. This is made by Koei Tecmo. This is $69.99. This is on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. You can buy the Karakuri edition, which is their deluxe edition, for $89.99. And the PC version has had some significant issues, as Johnny alluded to.
Yes.
But they've got a patch out. They've got a roadmap of what they're going to be adding, including DLSS. This is, in a lot of ways, if you look at this game, as we mentioned before, it's a monster hunting game, and it's very much in the vein of a Monster Hunter world.
Yeah.
But it brings so much quality of life and innovation. There's always this ebb and flow in a Monster Hunter battle, where depending on who you were with, if you were solo, randos, if another monster showed up. But for the most part, there was, I'm going to go do this, this, and this. And you're going to have to sharpen your shit up. You're going to have to eat beforehand, go into the whole thing.
Maybe take some cold drink with you, or
Yes.
something to make you resistant to whatever element is active in that level. And we love it. We love Monster Hunter.
Adore it.
But this game does some nice, as you said, quality of life stuff, like being able to build a camp basically wherever you want on the map.
Yep.
And what's the name of the stuff you build? I can never remember.
Is it Karakuri?
Karakuri?
Yeah, I'm very much butchering that. That's a Midwestern boy trying to speak that, but you're using threads that are from Karakuri.
Strands. It's a strand game.
It's a strand game, yes.
Yeah, and you're building a little box at first, or maybe a spring, and you jump on the spring and you fly to the side. Or maybe, hey, you stack 3 of those boxes on top of each other, you jump off, and you do a big attack. Or, hey, what if you place 6 of those boxes in 2 stacks of 3, and it makes a big wall, and if the monster runs into it, they fall down.
It's also, you're using the thread to build those, so you are like chopping wood or busting up a rock, not like a Minecraft where you just go up to it like you would mine and Monster Hunter.
Extract thread. Or you get it from attacking the monster.
Yep. And that's so that you increase that as you like expand and level up your arsenal, but you start the game off with I think a capacity of 12 threads, and so these objects might be like 2 threads, 3 threads to build, and it's not like you can spam it, but for the most part you can get these things back. And what happens is that you start to play off one another with it. And so some of these things can become, I'm going to make a zip line that it's almost like Death Stranding in that sense,
Yeah.
because it leaves it behind. And
Mm-hmm.
so like if Johnny came into my game and fought a monster and built something, even when Johnny leaves, that structure still remains until it gets
You
demolished.
can dismantle it if you want to, because it's all based off of different resources that you have in different zones on the map. And yeah, being able to just build a zip line or use the zip line and tether it to the monster and then zip across and jump off and attack it, it's the right amount of like dumb and like spectacle, and the weapons are just as nuanced as they are in the Monster Hunter game, at least from what I've experienced so far.
Yeah, I would just want to add one thing to that if I could. You played with the hunting horn and I played with the hammer when we played Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
You knew what I was going to be doing. Like you knew, hey, I'm playing with Bobby. He's going to be fighting this way with that tool. What is so cool about this game is watching how people get creative, because even with a random, if they came in and I saw that they had a glaive, I'm like, okay, they're going to be bouncing around all over the place. Like I knew how they were going to fight because that's how you fought in Monster Hunter.
Yeah, there's the meta. Like
yeah, totally. Here we're watching people build like a box jump off point, or to you called out like they came in and they shot a monster with this tether, and now we're all just jumping onto it and they're fighting a different way. There's just this creative energy. And I know that we've made fun of it in chat calling it jazz or cosmic gumbo, but like there is this like improv element to this game that keeps it so fucking fresh in a really cool way.
Yeah. Yeah, because it makes each fight unique. Like I think the fights in Monster Hunter World and Rise, like they're different phases, but different stuff can happen every time, and that's what makes it. It needs to be able to do that in order for you to be willing to put time in to grind out these materials, to get the armor you need. And I think that Wild Hearts does that really well too.
Yeah,
like I fought 3 of the big crusty possum boys.
Oh, nice.
I can't remember his name, and each time it was different. Because the people I was playing with and the monster went to different parts of the map. And man, what a pleasant surprise. Like this year so far has been full of cool surprises.
I think it's only going to continue because I think the surprises hit harder right now, because this year I can't recall a year that has had as many games that could be as high as they are on my anticipation rate.
Yeah, games I fully anticipate. Like there's a new Zelda this year, and you and I both fucking love Zelda, so it's a pretty safe assumption it's going to be somewhere on our Game of the Year list. And to have games like Hi-Fi Rush, Wild Hearts coming out and just completely blowing us away, it's awesome.
Very fucking cool, man.
It's awesome to be surprised by.
It really is.
By a video game.
Johnny, is there anything that you'd like to add to either Wild Hearts or Atomic Hearts before we get into the news here?
I'd say with Atomic Heart, try it out yourself. Like
it's a great Game Pass game.
Yeah, people's threshold for this stuff, varies wildly. So you may be able to put up with something that is just too grating for me. And also, like I said, I just got too much shit I'm playing right now. And Wild Hearts, well, I don't know if I can give it a hearty go buy it right now, because it is a little busted. It's
so good though.
It's so good. Give it 6 months, wait for a sale.
Yeah, because it is a $70 game.
This is, I think this game will absolutely be worth picking up, no questions asked, at some point.
I think we'll also be talking about that game in December.
Yeah,
I feel pretty confident there.
Yes.
All right.
That wraps that up.
we talked about Hi-Fi Rush, Wild Hearts, and Atomic Heart. Johnny, you have done a great job of collecting the news for us. What is
Thanks.
happening out there in video
Um,
game news land?
so this ties into an ongoing story that we talk about on a regular basis, and that is Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and it's being scrutinized in different countries, and like in Europe, especially, they're putting the screws to them a little bit, and so Microsoft has been doing their utmost to say like, hey, we're good guys.
Yep.
We just want to
They are
do what's best
fucking
for everybody.
going to war.
And part of that strategy has involved signing a binding 10-year agreement with Nintendo to put Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms for the next 10 years. And that is an important step in them fighting off this anti-competitive, uh, you know, I don't know, argument that is being made by Sony. Primarily is the primary opponent of this, and we've talked about it. Like I'm not in love with the idea of like monolithic corporations becoming even more monolithic.
Right.
But it seems like a change in leadership is needed at Activision Blizzard, and if this is the way that we get there, and it makes it a better working environment for the game devs who already work in an industry fraught with like all sorts of problems other than the ones that are unique to Activision Blizzard, like maybe this is for the best.
They're setting the stage right now. We've talked a lot about it, as you called out. Not only do they have this deal with Nintendo, they also have made a deal with Nvidia for their GeForce Now to bring Xbox PC games to that service. They also called out more recently as well that there's currently 48 games from Microsoft Studios that are available on PlayStation, and there's currently 2 Sony first-party published games that are available on Xbox.
Those are just both MLB The Show, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That's it. And so I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
I think so, because there's been 2 of them out.
Yeah. They made this comment. They said, we currently offer 48 games on PlayStation, and if this deal were to go through, we would gladly have 49, is what they were saying, alluding to Call of Duty. So GeForce Now is going to get all those PC games. Nintendo's going to get it. There's been some jokes going around about the Switch being able to run Call of Duty. I would gladly do that, but Nintendo in a 10-year frame they're going to have something come out that might be able to run Call of Duty.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just like
right now though, it's scary.
Modern Warfare 2 looks really good.
Not on Switch.
My PS5, and I can't imagine. Like, it'd have to be a cloud version of that game.
Yeah,
I think, or maybe like the mobile Call of Duty.
Right.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's a very cool thing.
Yeah. This is a Johnny story, because I don't think anyone else here really cares about this. That's a member of this podcast. They confirmed the next Civ game is in development, and
I've played Civ.
Okay. So you get it.
I get it, and I know that Civ is a fucking big game for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's the only game for some people.
Yeah.
And I played a bunch of 4. I played a bunch of 5, and like I've only have 13 hours in Civ 6 for some reason. So I should probably. Yeah, I was thinking maybe one night you and I could stream some of that, because Civ is a lot of fun. That makes sense, because let's see, it came out in 2016, and I feel like it's usually like a 5 to 7 year cycle.
Sure.
Like the game comes out, there's a bunch of DLC for years, and then the next one comes out. So, I'm definitely gonna check that out whenever it comes out. Game Freak,
your friends and mine.
Yeah, makers of such fine Pokemon products as Pokemon Scarlet Violet. They say they want to make more non-Pokemon games.
Man, they made a game for the Switch that was terrible.
I know. I'm trying to think. They made Drill Dozer on the GBA. That game is good. They made Pocket Card Jockey.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. So they, they hit every
Trying to see if
once in a
there's anything
while.
else here that stands out. I mean, like I do like the Pokemon games. They said
Yeah,
they made
obviously.
Yoshi, just Yoshi the video game.
On the NES.
Yep. Uh Timbo the Badass Elephant. That's a more recent one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Then Pokemon, of course.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. But like, maybe put some more TLC into your actual mainline product. And we're getting a Pokemon Presents on the 27th.
What are they rumored to do there?
I haven't seen any rumors. Have you?
No. I haven't really
I know. Go ahead.
I haven't really kept up with that one.
Yeah, I would say maybe, hey, like this is where they say, hey, this is when Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, and then the Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald are coming to those new Switch Online consoles. Maybe they talk about that. Maybe they talk about DLC for Scarlet and Violet. Maybe they issue an apology. That's not going to happen.
For their sins.
I assume, like, there's lots of ongoing Pokemon stuff. Like, maybe they'll talk about Pokemon Home stuff for Scarlet and Violet, like when they're adding in more Pokemon.
That's got to be coming soon, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, what the date on that was. But I assume it'll pertain to that, and then, like, maybe some merchandise or something. We'll see.
Neat.
And finally,
he says,
Sony's next State of Play is happening tomorrow, February 23rd. They're going to have a look at Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, PSVR 2, and more.
Do you care about that? Do you care about that game?
No.
No.
No, I don't. Nope.
Yeah.
I never, like, I know that they're amazing, but for some reason, like the Arkham games, I could just never stick with them. And this is the next big thing from Rocksteady, right? So I don't know. Like I like the Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn made, but
yeah.
I'm not invested in those characters the way that I am invested in Batman.
Yeah, same.
Like Batman is second to Spider-Man for me as far as superheroes go. I fucking love Batman. So having a Suicide Squad game, and isn't it designed to be like a co-op experience, or do they come with you whenever like you don't have other people playing with you?
They did have that big thing that came up where people got pissed because they have like a battle pass. I think this is trying, like, I think they're trying to make, I think they're trying to
live
make
service.
It like,
is this trying to be Avengers?
Yeah.
Are you interested in this game at all? Are you going to get it?
I'm with you, man. Like, I like the Arkham games. The little bit of Arkham Knight that I played where it was working was fine, but I just like, why? I don't want to play.
Or Gotham Knights.
I'm sorry, Gotham Knights. Yes, Gotham Knights. But this one, like, I like the idea. I don't think it's Bizarro Superman, but you are fighting Superman. I think that's cool. Killing the Justice League sounds neat. I know I'll tell you what has me maybe willing to check this one out, and that's Kevin Conroy being his last time doing this.
Yeah.
Like when they showed that off, I was like, you know what? Like, I was so moved by that man as Batman as a kid, and I've just enjoyed his career and watching him beautifully show up across the board to talk about Batman.
He is Batman.
He's Batman. So to me, I feel almost like an obligation, which is a weird way to put it, but I feel like this is the last time that guy does Batman. So I feel like even though he might not be in it a whole lot and I could probably watch cutscenes, there's a part of me that kind of wants to check that out for that reason.
You want to kill Kevin Conroy.
I didn't say that. If you clip that with the earlier stuff about, yeah, not good.
Wow.
So anyway, I I wonder what we get. The only reason I bring all this up is I wonder what we get tomorrow when we see this. If they're going to show off that. Yeah. We'll see.
Yep.
That's crazy. All right, man. We
did it.
We did it. We said that we were going to do this show in 45 minutes, and boy, howdy, here we are. And why are we doing this show in 45 minutes, Johnny?
So we can go play Wild Hearts.
That is true. So I will briefly run down what's happening here with us. You can follow all along with the Casual Hour at thecasualhour.com or at the Casual Hour wherever you are social. This week has been a fun week already. We had a quick look that went up. I'm sorry, we streamed Monster Train on Monday, what we call a Casual Monday Classic, and that was a good time. We didn't make it all the way to the end like we wanted to, but we still had a hell of a go with it. And
how broken were the builds that Chase
created? It wasn't as broken as we could have gone with, but there was still a pretty broken one. We didn't quite get the engine all the way up and running, but we were doing some decent damage. It was we've done far more broken stuff. That game's also on mobile now, and if you haven't played it on your iPad, that's a really good place to play that game.
Fantastic video game.
We have a quick look that did not go up on Tuesday, but went up today because I miscalculated my work schedule. Industries of Titan, which is a Bobby Ask Bobby game. You should go check that quick look out. It is a good time. That is a city builder from Brace Yourself video games. Tonight, we did episode 313 of the Casual Hour. It was a great time. Tomorrow, we have a quick look going up for Control Alt Ego. During the time of recording, I couldn't tell you what that game was, but I think the more I think about it, that is if Prey took a couple hits of acid.
Okay.
And then Friday night, to nobody's surprise, Johnny and I are going to be getting back into the hunt with friend of the show, Jason, and we're going to do some Wild Hearts tomorrow night. So come hang out. It'll be a great time. Johnny, thanks for being here. Chase, feel better. We will chat with you all soon. Bye.